Hey everybody, it's Linda at the Crafting Depot, and today is just going to be a craft chat. And basically, my channel is all about just coming out of our comfort zone and dabbling or experimenting or just playing with any kind of medium that you enjoy. So there's a lot of junk journal ideas in this channel, and a lot about how to make ephemera for your junk journal books. And honestly, I really enjoy it. Now, many of us are busy with work, children, grandchildren, health issues, such as getting older. Like I'm just now, the past week, I'm experiencing pains in my hands, which I hope is due to the weather, because we're having some pretty awful weather here in Florida. And, it's been raining almost every day, so it's been challenging. And anyway, so recently what I, just got involved in was learning about watercolors. And from watching another channel, I bought these grabby, where is it? Can you see? Grabby, Grabi, and I really like them. I think they're wonderful. There's a lot of different colors in here, and I'm just experimenting with it. And I have to say, I love this. These watercolors. Are there better ones? I'm sure there are, but for me as a beginner, this works great. So in here, it came with this this brush, and the brush has a tube at the other end which you fill with water. And then what you can do, where's my little what you do is you just press the tube and a drop of water will come out. Okay, so I don't use this with my watercolor so far experience, which is very minimal, probably the past 2 weeks. What I do use this with is my Stabilo Aqua, what is it? Stabilo Aqua Color Watercolor Pencils. I don't use these a lot, but Pam at the Paper Outpost talks about these, and I've heard her mention them often. So I went and bought myself a set, just a small primary set. What does it have? 12? It's got 12 watercolor pencils in it, and I'll show you one page that I am working on right now for a friend. So a friend of mine asked me if I would make her a journal, and I wanted to do something. Oh, let me cover this. I wanted to do something a little different and just experiment. So she's getting an experimentation of me just playing. And, she's a really nice person. She's not going to judge me. I'm not really, I'm not worried about that. Basically, I just want to show everyone that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay if it doesn't come out great. The idea is to do something creative that is going to really be good for your heart, your soul, your immune system. It's going to make us feel really good. And it's not to get frustrated or upset, because that's part of the journey of crafting. Anything we do, laying down tiles, wood crafting, sewing, needlepoint, crocheting, it's all a journey, and it takes us to an area where we feel, good and calm. So that's what my channel is about. And today is just craft chat and, playing. So I'm hoping that anyone that's watching this will be inspired, will go and take whatever kind of crafting medium that you like, and just, play with it while we sit here and talk. So we'll just go quickly through what I have done so far. Now, I know there's a viewer out there that asked me to show how I made this journal. So this is a 9 signature journal, And each signature has 3 pages, which are cardstock. So I took the cardstock, I just folded it in half, and it's a different type of stitch than the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm at Pam's house now, watching Keeping Sunny Company with me and Baxter, so I'm not home. I will try to do this, you know, when I can, but it's a different type of a stitch, and it sews the whole book together real nicely. So I used cardstock so that I could, you know, doodle in here and then maybe use colored pencils and, you know, some watercolor. This is definitely not the type of paper that we should be using for watercolor, but because I'm a beginner and I don't know what I'm doing, I just went with it. Then later on, I went on Amazon, and I just today bought some watercolor paper. So once I get that, I will show you all what I got. And I also ordered another paintbrush. And I really like these paintbrushes. They came with the, can you see this? They came with the grabby set. So it was 3 brushes, 1 flat brush that I have at home, and these 2 brushes. Actually, there was more brushes than this that are at home. They're finer and thinner, but I like to kind of gravitate towards the number 3, and I just ordered a number 6. I think it's Princeton watercolor brush. So let me show you some other things that I have learned. So while I was doodling, my Sharpie pens that I have were running out of ink. And so I went online and I ordered these number 5, 0.5 Sharpie roller pens. And honestly, I don't like them. What happens while I'm drawing on them is that they just kind of run out of ink. So I'll use this little piece of scrap. You know, I'll be doing lines. Let me move this over. I'll be doing lines. And of course, it's not going to do it now, which is wonderful. But, you know, while I'm doing this, I notice that sometimes the ink just stops and I got to roll the pen over. And of course, now it's not doing it, which is wonderful. But I wouldn't recommend these. I mean, maybe they're okay sometimes, but they're not okay all the time. So then I went and listened to someone, and I don't even remember the channel, and I was recommended to get the Micron Fine Liner. I don't know if you can see this. The Micron Fine Liner. It's a very sharp point, and I think it says 02. 02. And it's a really fine point. Yeah, back in the light is better. So here it is again. It's Micron. I know the lighting is not good. It's a Micron Fine Liner 02. And I really like it. The ink doesn't stop while I'm drawing. Here comes Baxter. And it's much finer than the, what are you crying about? Every time I start a video, you start crying. Stop. You got walked, you got food, you got water, everything. So, that's the 02 and this is the 05. And the 05 is a little thicker, but, you know, a lot of times while I'm using it, it stops spreading ink. So that's how I feel about that. And then I went and got, I have no idea if this is good, but it says water-based, water-resistant pigment. Oh, I'm not in view. It says water-based, and you can't really see. Let me see. Water-based pigment liner brush. So, and it's by, I think, STA. Sorry for the, let me see if I can get in here. Is that better? STA Pigment Liner brush. It's water-based and it's water-resistant. And I wanted to get this in case I wanted to use it with watercolor. So you can do a very thin line and then you can go thicker to thick and make a point. So my hands are very shaky and I have a hard time making straight lines. So I'm practicing with that, and that's why I got this brush, so that you know, I can do other thicknesses with my doodling. So that's my take on these brushes. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you next was what I'm doing so far in this journal. Okay, so we'll just do a quick flip through and then we'll do some playing. Okay, so I love hearts. Let me move this. I love hearts. So first page is a heart, several hearts that I doodled on. Let's see, let me get up here. There we go. And I skipped a page and then I did this ephemera, and I want to show you, I also bought this Posca. It's a white pen, and all I know how to do with this is make dots. So you can hear it click, and then all you do is just touch it and you get a dot. So I'll show you that. And I really like that. It just adds a little whimsy to whatever it is that you're doing. And I also did it on the pocket. And I have a video back in my channel where I took my book pages and I laid them down. I made a big giant master board, and then I wet the master board and I just played with watercolor and, you know, made leaves. And I used my Sharpie pen or my my other liner, micron liner, and I just outlined the leaves and I just doodled and just had fun. So I'm going to move this over to the side because it's a little wet. And so this book is going to just be a combination of junk journal ideas incorporated, you know, with watercolor, coloring pencils, doodling, and just having fun. So the next flip over here is where I use these Stabilo. Well, what I did first was I doodled out this tree leaf, and then I used the Stabilo watercolor, and this is where I used the water brush. So after I did all this, I just went over it with the brush, and I just, you know, ignited the color and tried to mix a couple of colors in there. And that's what I got with doodling. So moving along, I did this, which was a doodle, and it's not great. Nothing in here is fantastic, great, but it's just here to show you that, you know, we can all play with whatever medium we like. So that's my next doodle. And then here's another pocket with some ephemera that she can write on. And then here I am just doodling again and just making up, you know, different doodles. There's nothing, you know, here's a tree doodle that I was working on, and you can still see, you know, I started with the pencil and tried to erase it. It didn't really come out too good, but I'll work on erasing that more. And then more ephemera. And I was practicing doing tree leaves, and then I went on a piece of paper, did some tree leaves, and I made this as a side pocket where she can put, you know, whatever she wants, pictures of her and her boyfriend, and so that's in there. And that was just on little small pieces of paper. And here's more doodling. And where did we go? More ephemera from that big master board that I made. Here I was practicing yesterday how to make palm leaves. So this is practice, and then I made a pocket out of it. So I put glue on 3 sides, and she can stick stuff in there. And flipping along, you can see this was made from the master board. I did side tucks, and then this one I sewed. I may have sewed the others too. You don't have to sew, but I just like the way it looks, and so I do it. Okay, and then moving along, I don't think we have much back here. Here's a, not crazy about this, but I made some side tuck with, okay, this paper was on paper that I used on a gel print, and I put some orange on the gel print. I have a video of it somewhere, and I just doodled. You can see my hand is really shaky. It's really shaking. And so I did it. And so it is. And then I think there's another one in here on the other side. And this I was shaking and really in a rush. And Baxter was crying. He wanted something. I don't know, probably to go for a walk. So I was just like in a hurry. But, you know, there it is. And then my very first doodling here was in the back. And you can see these really thick, I was using a thick Sharpie, and you know, it's not great, but you know what, it was fun, and it's done. Here's some, I took an old tape dispenser, and I just, you know, drew the circles, made them interlock, and I just did some doodling. And I think, oh, and then here is some lines I did on the side, and it says love is the answer all the way around, and love, and you can see it like that. So I just wrote on there. And I think that was the last page. Okay, so this is, let me go back up here, move it up. Okay, so this has 9 signatures in here, and each signature has 3 pieces of cardstock. So I'm probably not going to do every single page, but what I will do is maybe every other page or every 2 pages, and I'll just give her some stuff, interesting stuff to do. And you know, I'm not sure, I may even put some other stuff, you know, old vintage papers and stuff in here, music paper, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so today I also want to show you, I have been practicing. So these were some ephemera that I did and painted on, and they're not great, but I was practicing. So the trick is to practice every single day. Here are some eucalyptus leaves that I'm practicing. Then I was making some, I thought I would make some belly bands. They're not really, the paper is very flimsy, so I'm going to have to back it on something else to make it thicker. So that was my practice with eucalyptus. These are just whatever kind of leaves. More practice. Here's some palm leaves I was trying to make. Here's probably a better palm leaf. Here I'm practicing circles, which I want to do this morning with you all. And basically, let me get rid of that. Basically, this is just to teach me, or you guys, if you're interested, some control with our hands. And here's some more practicing of leaves. So I want to practice doing circles with you all. Oh, this I tried to do some kind of a flower. And you can see it's not that great. The leaves are not that great, but I'm practicing. And showing you that I'm not that good, I hope helps to inspire you all. You'll probably see here I was working with trying, and this paper is cardstock paper. So it's not good paper to be watercoloring on. Here's some more leaves. Here I was trying to do a pine tree, and as you can see, it's not that good. But that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about just learning to do simple leaves, circles, and, you know, just stems, like the stem goes into a C shape, like that. Okay, so that, we'll move that over. And here, Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I have some mucus. Okay. So I'm going to open my book. I'm going to get my watercolor. I like this thicker one. It says number 3, but I ordered, it's by Grabby. You see, I can't even see this. How are you going to see it? Let's go in the light. Okay, this is by Grabby, and it's a number 3. 3 round. And this came with my watercolor paints. So let's go over here. And let's just play. So I have 2 cups of water, because the professionals say that you should have 2 cups of water. 2 cups of water. And one is for your dirty, it's supposed to be your dirty water, but I use it all the time anyway. So I'm going to just wet my brush, and I'm going to go into, let me turn it this way. So here, so this came with a sheet of watercolor paper, the right kind, and basically what you're supposed to do is take the colors in the palette and put a little bit on each square, and then it'll tell you what colors you're using. And then these trays, which I experimented with last night, are supposed to be used to mix. And there's only 3 there, so there's not that many. But you know what? I'm not a professional, so I'm just going to play. So I'm going to wet my brush, and I'm going to go into burnt umber. And I'm going to do just a, let me get my other one so I can look at it. I need help. So I'm going to go into my burnt umber, and with the tip of my brush, I'm just going to lightly touch my paper, which is not the right paper, it's cardstock. And I'm just going to go up like this, lightly. And my hand shakes, which is, you know, unfortunate, but, you know. And then I'm going to go back into the stem, and I'm just going to go up like this. And I'm just going to go up like that. Little tiny branches. And this one's going to go here and here. Put one in here. And let's go down here. Okay, so we have a couple of branches, and we can always add more. And as you'll watch me constantly put it in the dirty water. So next thing I want to do is make these balloon-shaped leaves. So now I don't remember what color I used, but I'm going to go into this Viridian. It's kind of like a blue, and I'm going to play. So I'm going to go with the point, press down, go around, and then I'm going to make this little point, and I'm going to go around and just make a splash and a little point right there. Okay. And then I'm just going to go with my wet and less paint and just do a light, faint circle, a little point. There we go. Go back in there. And I'll do one up here and practice And that's what this channel is all about. Just, you know, let's have fun. Take out your needle points if that's what you're doing. And let's keep each other company. My goodness. I have a lot of phlegm stuck in the old throat. Okay, there we go. And around we go. And I'm just doing circles. And I don't know if this is the right way, but my pen, I keep calling it a pen. My brush is straight up vertical. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to give this a little bit more of a whimsical. There we go. So, I'm going to go around and come back to a point. I'm just going to use the tip of my brush and basically just trying to practice together, and hopefully somebody is inspired. There we go, we got a little point. And I'm not good at mixing. I don't know color theory. I need to learn it. I know if you, I think I know, I have to experiment with it, but I think if you mix primary colors, like say red and the one that's directly across from it, green, on the color wheel, you'll get like a muddy color. But if you go, like say you have red and then you go to, on the color wheel, there's a lighter shade of red and you mix it with green, you'll get a vibrant color. I haven't experimented with that, so I have to work on that. Okay, this stem was way too long. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to bring it out, and it's going to go off. I'm going to try and get this to go off. And as you can see, my stem is way too high. Higher than I really wanted it. But that's what practice is all about. So I'm going to try and get some of this off. And then here we go. Tip, up, around, back down to a point. And I'm basically just doing the tip of my brush to get like that little point there. I'm trying for that. Okay, let's move this up. Let's get a little bit more. And the tip right there. And then we're going to go out and make like a big balloon. Come back. And we're just practicing. I am a beginner. Probably only been doing this for a very short while. I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. Okay, so now this side is heavier than that side. So I want to put a little bit more brown in there. Let's get a few more. So I'm going to go into the branch and I'm going to bring out a little stem there. Bring out a stem there. And bring out a stem there. I hear somebody chomping, walking around, and it's probably Baxter. Yes, it is. What's the matter, Baxter? Okay, so let's go back into our Viridian blue. And I have too much here, so I want to water it down. And here we go. Experimentation. Practice. That's what it's all about. Just practice. So here we go. We got that deep Viridian blue, which is really deep. I'm going to put a little water on here, and I'm going to make it hopefully lighter. See, that's another thing. I don't know how to, you know, create different shades of the same color. I'm practicing that. So that came out pretty dark also. And I was going to call it a pen again. My brush is vertical, And we're going to go up and around and do these circles. So there we go. And I think I'm going to put another branch up here. So I'm going to get rid of this Viridian blue on my brush. And I'm going to go back into the burnt umber. And I'm going to go up here to my branch and stick out a little bit. I'm going to go down here, try to use just the tip. Okay. So I probably should have done this other exercise before I did this one. Let's go back into the Viridian blue. I'm going to wipe off my brush, water it, and I'm going to do a, hopefully it comes out light. So little tip, nope, you can see I got too much water. And we're going to go around and up. I just wanted this to be more washed out, this one. Okay, and we're going to do a little tip. And you know what, maybe we should, I think that's good for now. Okay, so that's practicing our eucalyptus leaves. Now, what I need to practice is, where did I put my paper? Okay, here it is. Okay, what I want to practice is doing circles. So I'm going to use some colors that I don't usually use. And I wish I had a thicker brush. I do have a thicker brush, actually, but it's not a good brush. So I like these grabby brushes better. So what I'm going to do here is just practice doing circles. So I'm going to go like this, press down, and keep practicing doing circles. Let me go get my other brush so you see what I'm talking about. So these are some round brushes that I've had in the past, and I had no idea how to use them. And you can see this one I didn't take good care of. Let me go back into the light. I didn't take good care of this, and there's all little bristles like splitting, and I tried to fix it, but that didn't work. And that was from years ago. Okay, so let me show you with this one. I don't know if it's a watercolor or it's an acrylic brush. I have no idea. So let's go into this orange again. And I got to move this up because the edge of this is really high. long, Linda, not high, long. It's touching the phone. Okay, so let's see what I can do. So I'm going to go around like this. All right. And you can see, I don't know if you can see. Let me pick this up. It's leaving like little bristle marks around. So getting a good brush is really important. And I don't know anything about brushes. I'm just learning. But I know that when you get a brush, it can last forever if you take good care of it. And obviously I did not. So here is another brush. It's a number 8. And I didn't know, it's a nylon round. And I'll try to do it with this one also. Ugh. Okay. So I'm going to dip it in my water, my dirty water. And I'm going to go back into the orange. And let's see what happens. I'm going to keep my brush vertical. And I don't know if you look, you can see the fibers are separating. That's not good. You can see, maybe you can't see. Let me go this way. You can see the fibers are separating. Let me do that. See if I can do it better. Actually, that's better. So when I get my new watercolor brush, I will also, Well, that's better. I guess it depends on how I'm holding it. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, so that's with this nylon. It's a nylon round. Can you see that? It's a nylon Arctic 525R white nylon round. So wait till I get my other brush from Princeton and we'll see how that brush works. And I'm trying to just clean this as much as I can. So back to the grabby 3-point. Oh, I have grabby 3-point. I thought I had, oh, I have the 3 and the 2. I like the 3. So I wish it was a little thicker, but I'm going to practice these circles. And that is going to help me when I learn how to do flowers. So I like this brush better than the other brushes I bought years ago. So there's a circle. And I'm going to keep practicing circles. And that's how I'm going to get a little bit better. And it takes, from what I understand, years to become a master at any profession or thing that you do. It's just like when you start a new job, the first year is the toughest. And then after that, it gets a little bit easier. Okay, here we go. It's like my son. I worry about him all the time. He's a electrician, a young guy, and I told him, go get your become a master, you know, get your license, Brian. Oh, Mom, I'm terrible at school. I'm not good at tests. Then take the test again. But, you know, he's scared. Like most of us. Okay, you know what? Let's do a different color. Let's go in with, I don't know what this is, rose powder. Okay, rose powder. We're going to practice our circles here. And this is what they say to do when you're trying to get better at anything, right? So let's see. Go a little bit wider. Let's see if I put more water on here. What happens? Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's the pink. We're going to do ultramarine blue. Put a little ultramarine blue, and my brush is vertical. Okay. Not enough paint on my brush. Let's put a little bit more. And it's flowing. And it's moving. There we go. And it's not really super round, but we're practicing. Let's do a little circle here. And we're going to go around and practice going around and around. For many, this video might be a little boring, but, you know, just showing you that if you want to learn something, you have to do the work. It's like me when I first started this junk journal journey. My first 2 journals were terrible, and I started getting better just by listening to the masters and following their direction. And that's what it's all about. Any craft that you want to learn, let's do some green. Okay, which one is this? This is, let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pulling green? I need a magnifier. Okay, let's try this. I love vibrant colors. If you follow my channel, you'll find out. I love lime green. I love orange. I love purple. And I love the way they all look together. Let's spread this out. And fill this page up the best I can. Let's go, what is this? This is dark red. Dark red. Put different colors on here so it's not as boring. Get the round. And I'm just going to keep practicing this activity, this exercise, until I get a little bit better. And there we go. Almost got it done. And I do like the grabby brushes, but I don't have a lot of experience, so let's get purple. What is this? Lilac. Let's go with some lilac. See what we can put in here. Lilac. Just practicing our circles. And you can see they're not perfectly round, but I'm working on it. What is this? Lake blue. Lake blue. I gotta activate it. Let's get some clean water. Lake blue. Okay. We're gonna go up here with lake blue. Go around, 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 and around. Okay, so so far today, our little craft chat was introducing what I'm doing on my book for a friend, and some practice with circles. So it's really important to do circles. It'll help me with my eucalyptus and making branches. I talked about what I know from a beginner with the the products that we use are going to really make a big, huge difference on what happens in our artwork. And I hope that I hope someone is inspired. Not everybody will be inspired, but, you know, there's going to be people on here watching me going, oh my God, that's terrible. But you know what? It's okay. Because by me putting myself out there, hopefully I inspire someone who's afraid as well as I was to just get out there and practice. And that's what it's all about. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope everybody's doing well. And if you're not doing well, try to find something creative to take you out of that funk, as I do. And enjoy your day. Okay, so this is Linda from the Crafting Depot. I also have an Etsy store that I just opened. And I have a lot of stuff in there that you might want to check out. And if you do, go on Etsy and check out Linda's Crafting Depot. And you'll see some things that I have up there. So have a wonderful day. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.